Let's go ahead and get into a comment that was left on one of my dating videos. And it's a guy that's very, very frustrated about all the rules and all the things that you have to do in order to get women. And he's very frustrated by it. He says, all these stupid rules with don't text too much, don't text too little. It is such a stupid world. No wonder most relationships can't survive. Like, I'm sick and tired of these games. Look at the entire beginning of his sentence. Quote, if you do too much, she loses attraction. And he is absolutely right. Like, girl, go get someone who cares less and then cry to your girlfriends about it and how you wished he would do more. So this is a common complaint that I hear from guys about how, the whole, well, if you do too much for her, then she's going to lose attraction. And they only want these guys that don't really care about them, yada, yada, yada. And this is where it's important to understand the process of how dating and attraction works for women. Because it's not that you doing too much is going to turn women off. It's that you doing too much early in the process when she hasn't feel like she's earned it yet is where women start to feel a little like odd about that, because a woman that has a good head on her shoulders and recognizes that she is going to be part of a partnership also understands that during the dating phase, she needs to actually be doing her part for you. So that way you can really see that she's actually the right person for you. And what a lot of guys in women's eyes, what a lot of men are doing is after one or two dates, deciding to just give them the entire world. But that's an unsafe thing for women to feel, that a guy's just going to automatically give her the world, because what if she's not the right person? Has she vetted to see if maybe she's a user and abuser? Like, women are going through the process of doing their due diligence, because in their world, choosing a guy too soon could be potentially dangerous. So they're not going to be able to understand how is it you're able to make a full assessment on a woman after one or two dates and decide, I'm going to just now give her the world. And so it becomes very uncomfortable for women. Also, real talk, guys, women have had the experience of gaslighting, of a guy coming in too soon and trying to give her the world and appearing as though he's too good to be true. And then come to find out, like 3 or 4 months in, that's actually the case. He actually was gaslighting her. He actually was being nice as a way to potentially use her. And so women are coming from that vantage point of, I need to be more careful. I need to make sure this guy really is who he says he is. So when you go in and try to give her the world and do all this stuff for her, you're thinking it's from the goodness of your heart. You're thinking it's because you already feel like she's worthy of this. And that puts a woman on edge. So it's not that you need to treat a woman like crap. And it's not that you need to not do anything for her whatsoever, but it's just in the beginning, what you need to be doing for her is very lightweight. For example, you asking her on dates and paying for it. That's enough. Early on in the dating process, that's enough for her to feel like you're not trying to use her, because you're applying monetary investment into spending time with her. And so she can get just from that you probably like her. You're taking her on dates and you're spending time. You probably have an interest in her, but you trying to, like take her on a date and then pay for her dress and her manicure and trying to like throw money at her for gas money and then trying to like get her these gifts and flowers and stuff. That now seems like, to women, you have another agenda going on. Like, you're trying to get her to be the girlfriend way too fast. But why is that? Are you trying to just use her for sex? Are you just so desperate and needy that you want to try to claim somebody as your own, so that way you can say you have somebody and it doesn't matter who it actually is? Do you care if it's her that you date versus just anybody that'll come along and say yes? And so this is the box that you're putting yourself in when you're trying to do absolutely too much. And as guys, we're doers. We show our love to women and our like for them through doing a lot. So we can't understand why women will be turned off when we're just doing and doing and doing. And that's why. But continuing with this guy's comment, he says, I get where it's coming from. Something which is easy to get has less value. We all know that isn't always true. And some people literally miss out on the best relationships of their lives because of this stupid mindset. So his problem is, he's seeing this mindset in women as stupid, and he's not taking into account the experience that women have had when they have attempted to actually date guys who showed a lot of interest and a lot of action towards them way too fast. And that puts women in the danger zone. So as men, you can't look at dating all the time through your lens and say, well, this is how I see dating, and this is what I'm trying to do, and she should just accept it. You have to also look at what's her experience been. What's her experience been with guys that have tried to give her the world so fast? And then what happened when the bottom came out from under all that, And so also, to this guy, what this guy's saying. Yeah, it might not always be true, but for the majority of women, when it comes to easy, there's usually punishment behind that. All right. And also he says something which is easy has less value. He said that something that's easy has less value. It's that something that is too easy, it's not proven. And also, and this is what guys can take into account too, is that when it's too easy, it can become very, very boring. Now, a lot of men will think like, well, why should a woman want to challenge me? Why should I be mysterious? She shouldn't have to work for me. Like, that's so stupid and dumb. And I thought about this morning when putting together this show, okay? I want you to think about it like a video game, all right? Think about, like, say, Mario. My favorite game is Mario. So let's think like Mario Brothers. It could be Mario Brothers 3. It could be Mario Odyssey, whatever, right? So think about these two different experiences, right? You get the game, you open the box, and from the jump, you have no idea what's going on. So you get the controls in hand. Nintendo is very good at having these early levels where you can kind of feel out how you're supposed to do certain jumps and runs and stuff. And then you get the feel of it. And then you go on the adventure. And through the course of it, you're trying to find stars. You're trying to beat levels. And you don't always know what's going to happen. You don't know, where that next secret box is that has a star in it. You don't possibly know how to beat the bosses yet. You got to, in fact, oftentimes go through bosses multiple times before you finally get the pattern that you need to do in order to actually beat the boss. But the point is, it could take you realistically like a month or 2 months to beat a new game that you haven't played before, right? But part of the fun in that is not knowing. It's being able to figure out the ins and outs of it, try to figure out where to go, what to do, who to talk to in the game, what power-ups you need, and all this other stuff. Now think about the experience of you get the new Mario game, but it also comes with a player's guide that tells you every single box you need to hit, where the bosses are, how to beat them, where the warp whistles are to be able to warp to other levels, so you can actually bypass a bunch of the levels. Like in Mario 3, if you figured it out right, you could literally get the warp whistles in the first level and like pass through level 1 to go to level 4, and then get the other whistle in level 4 to go to level 8. And then you could, if you have all those super power-ups and whatnot, or the secret codes or the Game Genie back in the day that could give you like all the power-ups, you could literally just fly through all the levels and get to Bowser. You have the player's guide on you and how to beat him. And so with all that, you could beat the game in like a day. Like realistically, you could beat the game in a whole day. Now, of these two things, which one is actually more fun? The one where you don't necessarily have the complete guide, but you're able to just kind of like go on your journey, or the one where you're basically being given every single thing that you would ever need to be able to beat this game effectively? More often than not, you're probably going to say, well, if I beat it in a day, yeah, it was cool, but now this game's, I don't want to play it anymore. Like I got everything I needed to beat it. So this is how women are experiencing dating. The reality is they don't, if you throw every single thing at them that you have in your arsenal, you're going to, pay money for them to do everything they want to do. You're going to tell them, how much you love them and care for them. You're going to give them all these gifts, this and that, off of like 2 or 3 dates. You've effectively given her the player's guide to your heart. And I got news for you, dude. That gets boring really fast, really quick. And so you may be losing out on women simply because you're not understanding that for women, part of the fun of dating is the journey of dating. It's the, okay, what do I need to do to impress this guy enough to maybe get more of his time? It's like if you're a guy that likes to text a woman back and forth every single day, I got news for you. She's going to start to like lose interest and pull away because she knows subconsciously she has not done anything to earn that much attention from you yet. Even the ones that complain early on about, well, I want you to text me more, yada, yada, yada. What she's saying is, I don't know how to get you to text me more because I don't know what I need to do to actually earn all that attention. That doesn't mean you necessarily do that, by the way. And I'll talk about that in a future video. But the point is, yeah, like you giving them the complete player's guide to your heart and then just giving them all the stuff they need is not going to make her want to stick around. So this is why you need to be more patient, and you need to not be that guy that's like, well, I'm going to make it super easy for her to fall for me. I'm going to just tell her right off the bat that I care for her, that I can see a future together with her. None of that is going to make her want to stay around. If anything, it's going to scare her off to another guy who's not telling her all that stuff, where she's not completely sure of what he actually wants and is therefore going to actually do everything she needs to do on her end to work for his attention, to work for his heart. Because women understand that it's a two-way street. Just like she's hoping you're going to do things to win her heart, smart women that aren't just in this for the money or looks or whatever, and they're actually trying to build a relationship, are going to recognize that they need to do their part too. And when you don't allow them the ability to have to actually work to earn your affection, then yeah, she's going to lose interest quick. So you got to know that going in. Continuing, this guy says you can't have it all. Either he cares or he doesn't. Like, what the F is this? Are you looking for the best actor or the best partner? Now, I get what he's saying here, because as a man, if, again, we are looking for results very quickly, and we're looking to just not, quote unquote, beat around the bush and be able to just tell a girl, hey, I like you, I care for you, I want to take you out, or do X, Y, and Z. So when you hear things like be more patient, hold back a little bit, it's going to feel like you're acting or playing a part, which to you may feel disingenuous. And that's understandable, because you have not been in the habit or practice of being able to be a little bit patient and hold back before you just give a woman the entire world. Okay. But understand, just like how you are now is up to this point based on years of habits that you've done. Recognize those can be very, very bad habits. So you've been just that guy that's going to go out right away and say, hey, I care for you and I want to give you the world and give you gifts and yada, yada, yada. That's a bad habit that you developed. If you start working on better habits in dating, then those habits will soon become a natural part of who you are, and then you won't be acting. So like me at 40 right now, I don't have this need to have to talk to women on the phone every single day, text her all the time, to have to call her up every single moment of the day, to have to try to give her these gifts or to give her unending compliments, because based on the habits that I've developed and the dating life that I've experienced, I now know that those things are not necessary to attract women. Back in my early 20s, you couldn't have told me that. I'd have been like, but no, you got to like at least give her flowers. And you got to, even if she's not, texting you back, you got to check up on her to make sure that she knows that you like her. Yes, and that. I was of the same mindset. And then come to find out, like, none of that stuff was real. None of that stuff worked. Me over texting a woman caused her to, run away a lot faster, versus me being the guy now that only texts to ask for dates. They might give the impression that they're frustrated, but they stay around longer. They work harder to get to the point where I want to text them more. And so based on my current habits, I know that I don't need to be that guy that's there all the time. But at the same token, I'm not doing anything that indicates I don't care. You're still going to be asking them on dates. You're still going to be making them laugh and showing them a good time when you take them out. You're going to still be giving them ideally bomb hookups that make them feel like you're the best lover they've ever had. So you can still show that you care for a woman. But again, early on, you're doing it in bites, like very small bite sizes. So you taking her out, making her laugh, paying for the meal, that's bite size. A woman can handle that. You trying to do all that, but also trying to overly touch her on these dates and tell her she's the most beautiful thing ever and that you can already see yourself and her to getting together and having children. Now you're overextending the care you're trying to show. And it's a thing where you have to know how she's going to best take in affection and you showing care. If you're showing care in your way, in a manner that's not going to be beneficial or effective to her, then you're not really doing a caring action. You have to take into consideration how women early on are going to take this stuff in. And if you're not, you're just looking at, well, I want to do it the way I want to do it, and that's the best way, then you're not showing a caring action that's beneficial to what she actually needs on her attraction and dating journey to want to ultimately end up with you. Continuing, he says, I would much rather spend time with a girl who is actually fighting for me than a girl who is trying to hold back. We are grown-ups acting like children on a grown-up topic. But again, you have to ask the question of, for one, you want a woman that's going to fight for you, but is that earned behavior? After 2 or 3 dates, a woman is still doing her due diligence on you. It takes a woman 2 to 3 months to solidify her feelings. She's not going to feel like fighting for you after a month of dating, because she's still trying to figure out if you're the guy she even wants to be with. And the problem that you may be having is that you're thinking after 2 or 3 dates, you're already down to darn near die for this woman. She hasn't asked for that, but you're feeling like, I already care enough about her to want to give her the entire world. And because she's not there yet, you're getting mad at her because she's not willing to, quote unquote, fight for you. And she doesn't even know if she wants to be your girlfriend yet. So that's why you got to scale it back and not be so gung-ho on, if we have a few good dates, I'm already going to be down for her. No, because and this is what I try to stress also to you, guy, is that the problem a lot of guys have is after 2 or 3 dates, they'll say, yep, I'm choosing her. And then 3 months down the line, they start to realize, oh, wait, there's some serious red flags here. And now you as the guy got to try to break it off. And that can be a very, very hard position to be in. So this is why, just like she's taking her time, you need to take your time. And what you'll find is, as you take your time dating, women within the span of like 2 to 2.5 months will start coming to you, asking you all the things. Things like, hey, are you seeing anybody else? Hey, so I want to take you out on a date. Hey, so what are we? Hey, so what do you think about me? And it's better for her to come to you and ask those questions than for you to go to her. Because if you do it, you're going to do it too soon. She's going to start feeling like, oh, I'm not at the same place that he's at, and she's going to leave. More often than not, men typically get to the place faster than women do about choosing this other person as our potential partner. So you have to know that you're going to be feeling like strong feelings for her after 2 or 3 dates, which could be like 2 or 3 weeks in, right? And you have to like practice, again, building good dating habits. You have to practice telling yourself, just because I'm already feeling as though I'm there doesn't mean that she's there yet. So as long as she's still showing up for dates, you have to just understand that she's still building it up. As long as she's not being flaky and she's showing up for dates, dude, you're still good. And I think a lot of times us men, we think that we need to have the full validation of her being our girlfriend in order to not think she's going to go away, or that if we don't lock it down right away, she's going to potentially find somebody else and then be out. I'm telling you guys, if you just regularly, once or twice a week, ask her on a date, show her a good time, have a few good hookups, and just be consistent. Part of women building attraction to you is you being able to show how consistent you are in your actions. So as she's able to see more consistency from you over those 2 to 3 months, it'll quickly solidify her feelings for you to where she will have no doubt of her feelings for you. But you trying to ask 2 or 3 dates in, she's still trying to figure out, she's going to have doubts, and more often than not, she's going to say, this isn't right for me now. So learn to be on her time with that, okay? But yeah, once women get to the point where they like have solidified their feelings, that's where they'll happily fight to keep you. Continuing, he says, to be brutally honest, every single woman simply deserves what she gets by choosing her partners like this. Why choose the guy who is already proving to you he is willing to go the extra mile over the guy who doesn't care at all? Oh yeah, because the latter dude is harder to get, which means he's more valuable, just like any other object. So again, I want to stress that the guy who is not going the extra mile, that does not mean that he doesn't care at all, okay? What that means is he's a smart guy that probably got burned in the past by going too fast and recognizes that there's wisdom to being a guy that is more patient with women and allowing her to go through the natural journey that she needs to go through to build up an attraction that she's going to feel is authentic versus one that is forced on her. So you coming in and being the kind, cool, caring guy after 2 or 3 dates and trying to offer up like all your services and trying to like, be there for her all the time, that's the guy that she's going to feel like, wait, this is a little shady. Nobody is this deserving of this much love so early on and of this much attention. I need to back off. And also, like I said to you guys before, like you trying to just show all this stuff, it feels too forceful to her. It feels like you're forcing her to feel things for you, where if she's not all the way there yet, it's going to make her brain think, why is he forcing me to make this decision about us right now? Like there must be some kind of hidden agenda going on. I don't like this. And so I'm out. All right. So be mindful of that. And then he says, when exactly will men address the issue that we are the ones getting treated like an object? They are treating us the same way. They don't want to be treated themselves. And again, that's just not true. Like, and to be fair, on both sides of things, we could admittedly be treated like objects. Like we could be treated like money objects, like affection objects, just like we can treat women as like sex objects or playthings or whatever. But I'm trying to stress, women that are legitimately trying to get into a relationship and are trying to find the right partner, they're not trying to rush the process. And so if you feel as though you're being used because you went on 2 or 3 dates and then you try to ask her to be the girlfriend and she's like, well, I don't think that's a good idea yet, and now you're butthurt about it, that's on you, guy. You need to learn what women's process is. That's why I have a whole program called the Introvert Dating Success Academy, because we talk about things like this. We talk about what a woman's attraction journey looks like and the 3-month process you need to go through in order to really build a perfection. And it's right here, the Top Secret Dating Blueprint. We talk about things like effective phone etiquette, analyzing the first date so you know where feelings stand, what to do on that second date, milestones that signal relationship progression. Because if you're not trying to rush the process and you just kind of lay back a little bit, what you'll start to see is that you'll hit certain markers with the woman during that 3-month dating process that'll let you know where her attraction level is at and how she's thinking about you and at what point she's actually ready to get into the relationship. But the problem is you guys are so focused on where you're at in your dating process and your dating journey, you're not looking at, but wait, where's she at that's going to give me a better chance at actually getting into a relationship? If you're not doing that, then you're seriously shooting yourself in the foot and it's not fair to her, and it's not fair to you, because what I don't want you to do is forever be in the situation like this guy is, where it's like, well, women are just playing games and they don't know what they want, yada, yada. No. Women kind of know what they want. And when women first start dating you, they're always in this land of maybe I'll date him, maybe I won't. It really depends on what action she shows me, what kind of dates he takes me on, how he talks to me, how he treats me. And I need time to assess all that before I decide, yes, I want to be in a relationship with this guy. But if you're getting butthurt after 2 or 3 dates because you're already there and she's not, you're not understanding that she needs time to really assess all these things and to see consistent behavior from you to make sure that you are who you say you are and you're the guy she wants to get with. So just be more patient, guys, and you'll start to get the kind of dating lifestyle that you truly want.
Thanks for listening to the Introvert Dating Success Podcast. Visit us at introvertdatingsuccess.com for more great tips on attracting women using your natural introvert charm. Oh, yeah.